Will we still be getting a Nintendo Direct coming soon? We had a bunch of leaks, a bunch of rumors about there one being in February, but that is not the case, obviously, because February's almost over, right? We don't have that many more days in the month. And then, of course, this week is the week where Pokemon Day is taking place. So there is no way that they would ever do a Nintendo General Direct the same week as Pokemon Day. And if they have, let me know, because I just think that'd be kind of wild of them. It's just not the Nintendo thing to do, right? We just had the Nintendo Treehouse showcase, which by the time that a lot of you guys are watching this, we probably already saw it, but I have a whole point, so don't go away just yet, because I promise I'm not just talking about the Treehouse, I'm talking about the Nintendo Direct. When are we going to actually have that next big Nintendo Direct? And just kind of like, why are we getting this random Nintendo Treehouse? So of course they are bringing back the Nintendo Treehouse showcase this week, and it is some sort of presentation with Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 version and Pokeopia, which is very odd. Here's the thing with Pokeopia. Pokemon Day is in a couple of days, and I made a whole video on my main channel talking about like what the heck are they going to talk about, because we already know everything, right? We already know everything. They've told us about Fire Red Leaf Green. We obviously know about Pokeopia Champions. We know that Gen 10 is the big leaked rumored game that's going to be dropped. So like, other than Gen 10, what's the new big game or the huge thing that they're going to drop that nobody is expecting, right? And I always have to reiterate, this is not my Pokemon channel. I have a whole channel where I talk about Pokemon stuff, so I'm not going to like dwell on this too long, but this Nintendo Treehouse should be a pretty decently sized gameplay presentation with those two specific games, Pokeopia, the Switch 2 Mario Bros. Wonder version. So this would be yet another big gameplay reveal of Pokeopia, demonstrating how it is, which means that they're probably not going to show anything about Pokeopia for Pokemon Day other than just like an update about when it's coming out, right? Which should give them room to give us other big announcements for Pokemon specifically. And then we also have the Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 version gameplay, which is a little interesting to me. I kind of wasn't expecting that, only because of the fact that I swear people just don't like Mario Bros. Wonder all that much. Let me know how you feel about it. I had it. I didn't love it. I thought it was very like cool and colorful and stuff. I love the colors, but to me, I just didn't love the game. I'm just like asking why? Why is this the thing that we're gonna be getting? Like, why are we gonna get a Nintendo Treehouse? Why not just save this Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 version for the Nintendo Direct that should be March? That is the next big date that this Nintendo Direct should be taking place, is March, because it's going to be Mario Day for March 10th, of course, and then Zelda, obviously 40th anniversary, which I'm going to make a whole separate video about the information about when we should, more so specifically actually get a real reveal for a new Zelda game, Zelda remake, remaster, whatever they're actually planning behind the scenes. I recently covered that they're probably going to do some sort of remake of an older Zelda game, which if you guys have any ideas, let me know your favorite Zelda game that you'd love to replay with some sort of remake, I guess. What's wild though is this is going to be 80 minutes for 2 games. You're telling me that this Nintendo Treehouse is going to be longer than pretty much any Direct? I mean, seriously, like, when has any General Direct ever been 80 minutes long? And when has any Pokemon Day, Pokemon Presents been 80 minutes long? Pokemon Presents are short. Nintendo Directs are usually pretty short as well. I mean, this is crazy. Like, why can't we get this treatment for some of the crazy stuff? You know what I'm saying? My hope is that they're just getting these 2 things out of the way because, first of all, they probably want to sell these games because Pokeopia is very ambitious. It's very unique. It's very odd looking. I actually am looking forward to it. I think it does look ambitious game that we want, where it's like we want them to be trying these new unique ideas out. So that's the reason why I'm going to be getting Pokeopia, especially since it had really good reviews. But I think Nintendo and Pokemon, they know that it's a funny looking game. And then Mario Bros. Wonder also, like I said, a lot of people just didn't like it, so maybe they're just trying to like really sell it. They're just trying to do this Switch 2 edition, Nintendo Treehouse, to just sell more copies of this game. Watching the Bell Park trailer and stuff that we do have, I mean, it does kind of look cool. I just find it very odd that they're like gonna be doing this for 80 minutes long, because of the fact that I'm pretty sure most people were expecting a Nintendo General Direct. Now, like I said, that's going to be happening probably in March. I would have to assume it's going to be March because they're really trying to sell these Switch 2 games. Both of these games are Switch 2 exclusives. Well, at least, the Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition is, because obviously we have the regular Switch 1 version of Mario Wonder. But Pokeopia is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. And now, going on in the future, what are they going to do? Yes, you guessed it, more Switch 2 exclusive games. So I think for that reason, they're probably gonna do more of these tree houses. And honestly, I'm down because I think we all would love to see more in-depth footage about games that we just don't really know about or people are iffy about that might be a little bit different. So if they were to do this on top of Nintendo Directs, I think that would be pretty cool because let's say, Splatoon Raiders, that's a different game. That's a very interesting looking game. It's not the typical multiplayer online Splatoon game. It's actually like a storyline, like it's its own thing. So that would be really cool to see in another Nintendo Treehouse down the line in a couple of months here. I think the game's coming out pretty soon. I don't really remember. I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to get that. I'm a big Splatoon fan, and I love it when Nintendo try to like branch out a little bit and try to give us something that's unique, kind of those spin-off games based on the original game, because the possibilities are always endless. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Nintendo. They are always doing something unique. They're always doing something very original, which, you gotta give them props, man. So even though this isn't a Nintendo Direct, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. And I definitely think this is gonna be setting the tone for the future of the Switch 2, like with all the future titles, all the future games. I mean, I don't really know what else they're potentially gonna reveal, but dude, the Nintendo Direct coming soon should be a big one. I'm saying that because of the fact that the Switch 2 has been out for almost a year now. I mean, not quite, but it's getting close, guys, which I cannot believe. How the heck has this console been out for almost a whole year now? We have had a, handful of Switch 2 exclusive titles, but they are going full force for the Switch 2 exclusive titles going into the future, guys. So they're going to want to lock in. They're going to want to do some big reveals and some big announcements for this next Nintendo Direct that, like I said, should be in March. I cannot imagine this being past March. They want to get people hyped up. They want to get more Switch 2s sold, even though they have been doing really well. That's exactly the whole point of this, is that they've been doing so well with the Switch 2 sales that they're not going to want to stop. So honestly, very good news for us because we should be getting the Nintendo Direct on top of Treehouses, which is just more gameplay footage, more in-depth details about the future Nintendo titles that they're going to inevitably release on the Switch 2 during the Switch 2's lifespan, which obviously is going to last about 7-ish years, 8-ish years, I think is like the average lifespan of a console. So we still have a long way to go with the Switch 2, and I don't know, there is a part of me that thinks this Nintendo Direct is actually going to drop that big 3D Mario game, or reveal it, I guess I should say. Not drop the game, because that would be insane, but no, reveal this big 3D Mario game that has been rumored, that has been leaked for a few weeks now. It should be this next big Nintendo Direct. What would be awesome is if we do get that announcement, and then maybe in a couple of months, we get a whole Nintendo Treehouse 80 minutes long about new gameplay of whatever that new 3D Mario game is. I just personally do see that as the direction that they're going with all this stuff. Nintendo is the company that just does the most random stuff all the time. They're just always dropping some random announcements, some totally random games, and that's low-key why we all love them. Even though they are raising prices, and even though they're giving us these game key cards, we still play the games because they're fun, and they are just a wacky company, a weird company that just makes some bizarre decisions. Like, think about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean, realistically, that game was a bizarre idea. Just thinking about what that game is, you just basically destroying the entire map in every single, section you go to, doesn't sound all that fun on the surface level, but playing that game, it was very fun, and I could definitely see myself replaying that game in the future because of how fun it was. And I know a lot of you guys agree. A lot of you guys also think that was a super fun game as well. Anyways, guys, I'm done, dumping out my thoughts with my yap session here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see more Nintendo Treehouses? Do you just prefer the Nintendo Direct? I think this is good news for Nintendo overall because it's just going to be giving us more insights, I guess I'd call it, as to what exactly they're thinking of doing and releasing and how they're making these games perform and look. So, which is something I actually should have brought up earlier, is the performance of the games. Like, we could actually see how they look firsthand, because that would have been very good for Scarlet and Violet. I mean, we did get gameplay footage of Scarlet and Violet, but man, I swear it did not turn out the same when we got our hands on it. Please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for all things Nintendo news, leaks, and updates. If you're real and watching this far in the video, comment down below blue. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.